By the end of this video, I promise you, you will be able to reduce your grocery bill by 50%. And yes, I said 50%. This is not a mistake, and I am that confident. I saw videos actually on social media where a mom comes and say, okay, this is how much I spent on my grocery. Look what I was able to buy, how I'm gonna feed my family. Well, that's not how it works. You do not take a budget and go to the store to spend the budget to feed the family for that week. That's not how it works. I have so much to say in this video, and I really hope that you are willing to put a couple minutes aside right now to watch this video from the beginning to the end to be able to save that much money. So the first thing I want to say that we need to think about how the food, let's go back to the basic, right? How do we get food? The food like produce or fruits, it grows in earth, right? It grows, and it grows in season. There's a season for tomatoes, there's a season for strawberries, there is a season for pumpkin, and that's how it works. Now, I'm not saying you're not gonna be able to find fruits in a season that is not belong to you, but that's the problem. When is a season for a specific fruit, that fruit or vegetable, it's in abundance. There's a lot of that kind of fruit. Let's say it's strawberry season. There is so many strawberries and people are not able to eat as much. Well, that's when you go shop for strawberries. Why? Because when there is abundance, it's cheap, it tastes good. Yeah, but what are we gonna do with those strawberries? Well, that depends on your family. And I'm telling you what I do as a mom. My kids love strawberries, and this is what I do. I freeze strawberries whole. I freeze strawberries that's already pre-cut for the smoothies. I freeze a lot of popsicles, and I also made a video about these pouch, the long ones where you put, I don't remember the name of it, pop something. I'm sorry for my English. I hope you guys understand, because I speak 4 languages and the 4th one is English. So I really hope you understand. If there's any question, please leave it in a comment. I'm trying my best to help as much as I can. So we are going to freeze if that's what works for my family. If my family love jams, syrup, things like that, well, that's what I'm gonna do, right? And if I don't have time to do the jam right now, well, freeze everything. Then when I have the time, I take all the strawberries out and then process them into jam or syrup or whatever your family likes or what you're planning on doing. Anyway, you can either make, your holidays gift or whatever. Something else about the same step that I like is the fact that the fruits and vegetables are grown in this specific season that is supposed to grow. They taste better, and there is less human, like humans, try to modify some things, right? Because if you get strawberries when it's not strawberry season, obviously those are grown in a greenhouse when the human had to add some extra things that we don't even want to know. I'm not talking just about pesticide, or there's so much that they add to grow that fruit out of the season. So buy in season and stock up. Now, you might not have any ideas about specific fruits or vegetable, or you don't know how to freeze them or how to preserve them. Okay, let's say it this way. I invite you to follow me on Instagram. I do share a lot of ideas there because it's easy for me to, throw a story or something like this. But I do also share on YouTube. I have a couple videos on how to freeze potatoes, how to preserve some food when it's a season. Stock up is cheap. And then guess what? This week, I want to cook something that involves this and this and this and this. Guess what? If I have it already in my freezer, I'm not spending money. Yay! I know what you're gonna say. Well, that means you already spent the money before, right? Well, I do have a budget, and this is how it works, okay? I have a budget, and if you go online, it says that you should spend $25 per person per week. So if you're a family of 4, you should spend $100 per week. Trust me, if you take $100 to the store right now to create a meal with those $100, there is no way you can feed your family good food and healthy food. You'll probably end up eating rice and beans and lentils, or I don't know, some things that your family will probably get tired of, okay? So what and how do I shop when I have a budget? I'm gonna make a video showing exactly what I spend, but I'm gonna try to explain it here, okay? I take my budget, but before I go anywhere, I go shop my pantry, my freezer, whatever I have, my spices, whatever I have available. And I'm pretty sure you have things in your pantry that you probably forget about, right? So you are going to dig in those things that you already have, put them all in front of you, or you can have like write them down in a paper or whatever, and decide what ingredients you will need to add to the ingredients that you have already to create a meal. We are going to start from there. Once you get a list, and I'm pretty sure this list is not going to be very long, once you get this list, you are going to stick to this list, okay? Do not add extra. And you're going to buy the ingredients that you need. And now we need to take this list and go do the shopping. What we're gonna do when we do the shopping, when we're gonna need something, let's say you have, you need rice, right? You need 2 pounds of rice, and you decide to buy the 5-pound bag. You can buy the 20 pounds bag, right? If your family eats rice, don't start buying things you don't need, because that's how you waste your money. If your family eats, you are going to look at the store and you're going to be able to see if it's worth it to buy the big bag. It doesn't always worth it. It depends on the thing, okay? So you are going to go to the store and try to see the price, and from there, you will buy the big one, because next time you go into your pantry, you will have rice for the following week. There is something also I see online is when somebody show a picture of a grocery that's 20 years ago or 30 years ago and complain about the inflation and say, yeah, grocery, prices are expensive right now. It's true. I'm not saying there is no inflation. Inflation is here. We all see it. But also the way we shop is different. I'm going to give an example. You want to save money. Instead of buying a pizza from the restaurant, you want to do it yourself. You go to the store and guess what? You buy a pizza crust that's already ready. Oh my God, I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Your grandma, when she used to shop, she doesn't buy a $3 pizza crust. She make the pizza crust with ingredient that's already ready. And guess what? You can make 3 times the pizza, the dough, by using the same amount of money. Does that make sense? I did not understand what I was saying myself, so I don't expect you to understand what I was saying. So I did an experiment actually. I bought a pizza crust and I weighed it. Did I post the video? I don't know if I posted before or after this one. Anyway, I weighed the dough and I found 400 grams of pizza crust, and I bought it for almost $3. And then I made my own pizza crust, and I made 3 times pizza crust. So that one was 1 pizza, and the other one gave me almost 3. It's 2 and more than half pizza, but it cost the same dollars. Okay, so that one cost $3, that one cost $3. This one pizza, and this is 2.5 crust. My pizza dough recipe is you don't even need to knead it or to fight with it. You just put all the ingredients, give it a good mix with a wooden spoon or your hands or whatever, and just cover it and let it sit. And you have a pizza. And guess what? You can make hundreds and freeze them, because for convenience, you don't want to do it every day. I understand convenience, right? I understand that you want to buy the pizza crust because it's already ready, but I just explained to you that you can, when you have 1 hour, you don't even need 1 hour. It's just the dough have to rest for 1 hour, but you need 15 minutes to put the ingredients together and just let it rest. Even if you're not making pizza that specific day, and you make lots of them and freeze them for whenever you need, instead of going to the store because you want to spend $3 on that one, you grab the one that costs $1 from your freezer, is already ready, save you time to go to the store, save you gas, save you money, save you headache, and you know the ingredients. Trust me, when I saw the ingredients in that pizza crust, I was like, nah. Anyway, so this is one thing. The other thing that I will try to always post, okay? Whenever I have an idea, I'll post it and I'll show you. The price online sometimes is cheaper than the price at the store. So I had a video where I went to Walmart. I make a quick reel, very quick, to show you that there was corn and they were for 50 cents at the store. But if you go online, it costs 33 cents. And I asked the lady and she said they don't match the price because that's the online price. So if you do pick up, it's 33. Now, I understand that you will tell me I don't like when people pick my fruits, right, and my vegetables and my produce. That doesn't only work for produce. It works also for other things like medication. I saw a lady posting and she says she was mad because she had to go to the store to buy this medication for her kid. When she was going there, she looked online to see if they have it or not, and say, yeah, available, pick up. And she see it like for $4, but then she went there, it's like for $5. She's like, what's going on? And she asked, and they say, yes, that's the online price. So you need to think about that. Now, the other mistake that we do that look like convenience, but is not convenience, I know, is I'm just gonna give ideas on things that we don't know. We don't know how to do those things. We try, we think, or we did what the internet told us, but we don't know. An example is apples. And I know lots of parents will go buy those pre-sliced apples that's already pre-portioned in plastic bags that you can just take from the fridge, throw in your kid's lunchbox, and you say, okay, I give my kids something healthy. And then you're like, it's lots of money. So I did the experience for you. I bought those, and I bought actual apples. I pay less for these than this, okay? $382 grams, including the package. One kilo. And I did pre-portion my apples. And what we always struggle with is how to not make them brown. And the internet say add lemon, you taste bad, add this, add this. You don't need to do that. I have a smart way for you to do it. Well, is to vacuum seal them. Sometimes the answer is right there in front of us, but we don't even think about it. You know what I mean? It's right there. We have a vacuum sealer. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, I'm pretty sure you can grab one very cheap. You don't need a whole crazy one. Unless you want to vacuum seal other stuff, which I use a lot actually. The vacuum sealer are very important for me when I do freeze food, because they give my food a longer shelf life anyway. But that's easy. I pre-slice them, I put them in bags, I vacuum seal all of them, and I had enough for the whole week. And guess what? It was cheaper than the other one. It tastes better. It was a better apple. It was a bigger slice than the one that they put there. And I'm gonna show you the ingredients, and I don't like it. If you master freezing food, and I'm telling you this, I am the freezing food queen. I master freezing food. I have a link in the description. It's a free guide that show you 10 food that you freezing wrong and how to fix it, okay? People think that frozen food doesn't taste good. Actually, not true. It depends on how you freeze it. You need to know the technique. And it's not, when the word technique, it's, look fancy, but it's just some easy stuff. Like, let's say you will want to freeze eggs. You're gonna say, hey, why would you freeze eggs? I have hundreds of reasons for that. That's not what I'm talking about. If you want to freeze eggs, the yolk will be a little bit weird at some point. To stabilize the yolk, you want to add either a pinch of salt or a pinch of sugar before you freeze it. That's how you stabilize the yolk, and you're not gonna end up with a weird slimy yolk, okay? And I'm super excited to tell you this. I'm working on an ebook. I think this is the first time I'm gonna talk about it, so I'm super excited. I've been hiding it for years. I've been putting so much on this ebook and testing. That's why I can call myself the queen of freezing food, because I've been testing freezing food for couple of years right now. I think it's like 5 or 6 years right now. And I put all the information with pictures and everything in this ebook. It's coming soon. I can't wait for it. If you want to be the first one to be notified about the ebook, go ahead and register for the VIP list. I will send you a link and a special price for you. It's not going to be expensive anyway, but I will still give you a special price if you register. Now, why was I talking about freezing? I was talking about freezing because I want you to see the next step of saving money. If you go to the store, I'm going to take Walmart as an example, because Walmart is kind of everywhere in the US and Canada. I don't know if it's in other countries. Anyway, if you go to the bakery area, you will find, I am not going to call it expire. It's not expire, but I will say not that kind of fresh bakery kind of style. If there is a bread that's been sitting there for 2 days and it kind of feels sad a little bit, they will put it 50% off. That's when you're going to go shopping. Yeah, but I don't want a bread that's weird. Well, because if you freeze it, freezing is not only to preserve food, but kind of revive it. So after you freeze it, you take it out and you reheat it, or just let it thaw. You know, even without reheating it, it will be fresh. I bought, what did I buy last time? I put a video right here about things that were 50% off. I stock up my freezer. Even though I do like to make my own bread, I do like to bake, I do sourdough, I love cooking. I still buy things that's already ready, especially if I find it convenient, right? But also cheap. So convenience and cheap can work together if we do it the smart way. When I said smart, I realized that I never introduced myself. If you're new here, my name is Aya. My website is smartkitchenbyaya.com, because I want you to be smart, not just by shopping, not just by cooking, by not wasting food. So my next advice is to reuse the food different ways. And I went to my in-laws, and my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, they gave me this peach cups for the kids, and the kids were super excited when they saw it, because they said this is sometimes they give it to them at school and they love it. And of course my in-law was so happy, and they gave me like a big huge bag. And then we go home and my kids said, oh no, this is peach, the one we like is strawberry. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do with this? Yeah, mommy, it's okay, we're gonna eat it. Nah, it's fine, guys. I'm gonna be smart and make you guys love what you're gonna have. Those were frozen cups, right? It's not the fruits that you put in a pantry, it's the frozen ones. So what I did, I blended and I made popsicles for the kids. Now there is so many popsicles in the freezer, and they love it, and they come from school and happy to have it. I don't want my kids to, how do you say that, to force them to eat something because I had it or because I cook it. And I know lots of people are gonna say, I have 5 kids, how am I gonna do? I do. I have 3 kids, and guess what? We're 6 in my family because my mom lived with me, and each one can choose a different food. And I'm not cooking all these food that night because I make my cooking before, and guess what? I freeze it. Okay, don't hate me. I don't eat frozen food all the time, every day. But this is an example, and I'm just saying that let me put myself in my kids' shoes, or my husband, or if my husband is the one cooking that day, right? And he cooks something that he's craving, and I have to eat it because he cooked it and he's craving it. And I'm like, I'm craving something completely different. And then maybe the best option is to buy takeout. Well, I don't want to spend money in takeout. I don't want to spend time. I don't want to go pick up. I don't want to get delivery. I don't want to go through that. I'm trying to save money on grocery. I'm just giving you examples. I made lasagna last time, and I make 2 of them. So we ate one, and the other one, I pre-portion it. So I froze portions, individual portions. Just whenever somebody wants a lasagna, go grab a lasagna. And I have some different recipes here on the channel where you can go check it out if you want. And this will take us to the next advice, is to buy in bulk but also cook in bulk. Okay, if I turn on my oven and I have to use my oven for 1 lasagna, I will make 2, I'll make 4. If I buy meat and it's cheaper if I buy it in bulk, might as well buy it in bulk, make 4 lasagnas. Not only save time, not only save money, not only save headaches, it gives you options for the following week, which make my grocery budget never go crazy. I buy in bulk, I buy it when it's there, I buy it when it's cheap. I stock up my freezer, so the next week when I want to go ahead and check what I have in the freezer in the pantry, guess what? Sometimes I don't even need to go shopping. Beside milk for my kids sometimes, because I like to drink their milk, or for me, I drink almond milk, that's it. My next advice, I'm not gonna stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop today in this video because I don't want it to be too long. I hope you guys had some good ideas. If you have more ideas, let me know in the comment. Stay tuned. I will make a video where I show you how I do everything step by step. I will go to the pantry, I will go to the freezer, I will go to the fridge, I will check my spice cabinet. I will show you how I make things to work, how I make my grocery lists, and how I keep my budget low. And trust me, I still eat the best quality food, and we eat the most expensive food, but we don't spend that much money, which make people crazy. But guess what? That's how it is. You be smart. So don't forget to follow. And there is a notification bell. Don't forget to click on that one so you get notification whenever I post new videos. Follow me on Instagram. I post stories there, and you don't want to miss those stories because the stories stay only 24 hours. and see you in the next video. Bye.